Hey everybody, and welcome to Alan's Bonsai. So I'm going to continue with two more Ilex shillings, but these two I am not going to put into bonsai pots. I am going to do some trimming, and I'm going to repot them, but not into bonsai pots. I'm going to let them get a little bit bigger and probably put them into bonsai pots next year. So this is the first one, and as usual, the first thing I usually do is take off just all the excess growth, get a better look at what we're up against. And this tree, the nabari on this tree, I don't know if you can see it, it's alright, but it's got this massive root right here and then another one right here, and so that's not great. It really should emanate around the trunk all the way around. So that's part of the reason I'm going to put this into a different pot, or not put it into a bonsai pot. And then as far as the structure, it's okay. It's a little straight here. As far as, not, of course, even if I tilted it like that, it'd still be straight. But it's straight up and down. And then we've got the crook here and the crook here. Let's cut some more of this away. And then you notice this is all very straight. So I did not cut it back. Here obviously I had to cut back. Here I had to cut back. And then I did not cut it back until up here. So that leaves this huge long area. And at this point, I don't know, I think I'm just gonna, well, we can shorten it in stages and then see if we like it. So this is the potential first main branch. So that little piece that's shooting up can go. And then we have another one right here, which is actually in a better place as far as it's coming right out of the curve, but it's shooting back. So I'm just going to take him off too. This one will suffice as the first main branch. I'm going to cut some of this back. Oops! I think I need to sharpen my cutters. In fact, I don't think. Alright, so I'm going to take that little guy off. So that's, you know, that's got something going on. But right now, just going to leave it like that. And another thing I wanted to show you is this branch here, which, if you've watched any of my other videos on Ilex, and any other tree for that matter, the rule is that you don't want branches lower than 1/3 of the way up the tree, and this branch is very low. However, if this is going to be the front, and that branch goes all the way back, and you'll notice there's very little taper here. So I'm going to leave this back branch on as a sacrifice branch. So you notice I really haven't cut it back all that much at all. I'm going to cut the future first main branch back a little. So I'm going to let this back branch grow as far out as it wants. And that will thicken the trunk from where it emanates from the front, from the trunk down. So once this guy gets about twice as thick, it's not going to make the trunk twice as thick, but will definitely add more taper, which this tree really doesn't have right now. So that's why I'm not going to put it in a bonsai pot. I don't think it's ready for a bonsai pot. And I haven't really done as much as I would. I would probably take it to here. If I was going to put it in a bonsai pot, take that one little leaf away, and then you can see what I'm talking about. But for now, I just want to put it in a bigger pot and get it to grow more and develop more. And then I can do it next year. So that's, you know, that's the beauty of having a bunch of trees, is you can choose the ones that you think are the very best. And this is still a nice tree, but doesn't have to go into a bonsai pot right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into an 8-inch bulb pan. And an 8-inch bulb pan is considerably larger. So take it out of the thing and it fits in there perfectly. And I'm going to do a little bit of removal of the soil around the edges, but not that much. I don't really think it needs it. And then this bulb pan obviously is much, much deeper than the little food container tray it was in. But I'm not going to fill it entirely. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just take some of my landscape mix. I'm going to put landscape mix because I only use bonsai soil when I'm putting trees into bonsai pots. So just a little landscape mix. Pop them in there so it's pretty deep in there. And then just add some more landscape mix around. And I'm going to try to bury those big roots. That's really the beauty of using the shallow trays, the shallow food trays, is as the soil washes away a little bit, it exposes the roots, and that is why these trees have such nice nabari. Because the shallow trays allow the roots to get exposed to the sun, and then they thicken up. But these roots were too thick, so now the roots are buried, and the sacrifice branch is in place, and that's pretty much it for this guy. Water it in when I start to see new growth, which, whoops, put it into the frame. And next year it could conceivably be at least twice as thick around at the base if I just allow a whole bunch of new growth to take off. So that is number one. So we'll put him down here. And number two is, there goes my arm, is pretty funky. I mean, this is an old strawberry container, and I love these guys because they already have the perforations. You don't even have to poke holes in them. But look at this thing, it's way off to the side, and then it's got this crazy nabari right here, which is just plain weird. So, and you know, there's really nothing going on with the motion of the tree. So at this point, I'm just going to yank this guy out of here, and pull off a bunch of soil. It's just so weird, this one huge root going to the side. And I really don't remember why I potted it so far to the edge of the training pot either. It's just weird. So now what do? I don't think there's much else to do except just chop this root off completely. Just take my concave cutters and just whack it, and you notice how it comes up, and you can see how thick it's gotten. And then all the rest of the roots are just really nice and fine roots. So I'm going to do a really heavy root prune on this guy. And this is the time of year to do this. You would never do this in June because the tree would die. Okay. Got some more in there. Try to do it so you can see what's going on. Okay. Little tiny root ball compared to what it was. Which means I also need to remove a bunch of the top. So we have this guy here. Let me get these little guys out of the way here. I should use the concave cutters. Okay, so this is a decent example of a sacrifice branch. You see how it's thicker here than it is up here, and that's because of this branch, which grows way, way, way out. I really have no idea what I'm going to do with this guy. I could almost just go like that and use the quote-unquote sacrifice branch as the tree. And I may actually do that because it will create some movement. This is so straight, and obviously I could go to a branch, but it's certainly not my nicest tree in training. And another thing you want to do is you don't ever want to leave your roots exposed like this. Typically, make your decision. Prune the roots and then get the roots right back into soil. It's never a good idea to just leave the roots out like this. So what am I going to do? Maybe I'm just going to go way drastic, because I'm looking at this guy right here. And I've spoken about it in other videos, so you know, I think I'm just going to do it. Okay. It's too late now. And then cut all this stuff back. Still has a long way to go before it's a bonsai. And there you go. It's going to be a much, much smaller tree. But let me get this prod out of here. But I think that could be a very cute little tree. So I'm going to put it back in a training pot. And that'll be it for this video. And basically, you know, what I did with the other one, I'm just going to put it into another training pot, fill it with landscape soil, and that'll be the end of it. And just let it grow on. Actually, you know, that really has a nice little shape. That could be a cute little tree. Won't be much taller than it is now. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more of this stuff, please subscribe. And I'm still working on these shillings, because this is the time of year. Right now we're February 2nd. And we really have just every day that goes by is closer and closer to having the window closed to get these guys done. So thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.